Have you ever just stopped and actually thought about your breathing? I mean, it's something we do over 20,000 times a day, and we don't give it a single thought. But the journey each and every one of those breaths takes, it's this incredible high-stakes mission. So let's do just that. We're going to follow one single breath from the air around us all the way into the very heart of our cells.
Oh yeah, we've all been here, right? Your lungs are on fire, you're gasping for air after a hard run. That feeling is your body literally screaming for oxygen. But to really understand what's going on, we first have to clear up a really common mix-up, and it's key to this whole thing.
You know, we tend to use the words breathing and respiration like they're the same thing, but they're totally different. Breathing, that's just the mechanics, the physical pump moving air in and out. But respiration? Oh, that's the real magic. That's the chemical reaction that turns that air into actual energy for your body.
Okay, so let's follow that journey. Let's imagine we can shrink down and ride along with a single particle of oxygen as it starts this wild trip into you.
Stop number one is your nose. And it's not just a nose, it's basically a super sophisticated air conditioning unit. Before any air gets near your delicate lungs, your nose warms it up, adds moisture, and filters out all the gunk like dust and pollen. It's the perfect prep station for the long road ahead.
So from the nose, the air shoots down the trachea, which you probably know as the windpipe. Now, think of this like the trunk of a tree. It then splits into two big branches called the bronchi, one for each lung. And then it just keeps branching and branching and branching into thousands and thousands of teeny tiny little tubes called bronchioles, reaching deep, deep into your lungs.
And check this out. Lining all these airways is this incredible hidden defense system. They're microscopic hairs called cilia, and they're constantly moving, like a little wave, sweeping a layer of mucus and all the dust and germs trapped in it, up and out. Your lungs are literally self-cleaning. How cool is that?
All right, so all of this, the filtering, all the branching, the nonstop cleaning crew, it's all been the opening act. It's all been leading up to this one moment, the main event. This is the entire reason for the journey.
And here it is, the journey's end. Deep inside your lungs, at the very tip of every tiny branch, are these little bubble-like sacs called the alveoli. This is the destination. So how many of these little air sacs do you think are in there? 1,000? 100,000? Not even close. You have around 300 million of them. That number is just staggering, and it's all for one reason, to create as much surface area as possible.
And if 300 million is hard to wrap your head around, get this. If you could somehow take all of those tiny alveoli, unfold them, and lay them flat, they would cover an entire tennis court. An entire tennis court's worth of surface area, all folded up neatly inside your chest. Wild.
And this is where the magic happens. The walls of these little sacs are paper thin. The oxygen from your breath just passes right through. It diffuses, which is just a fancy way of saying it moves from where there's a lot of it to where there's less of it, straight into your red blood cells. And at the exact same time, the blood drops off its trash, the carbon dioxide. It's a simple, silent, and absolutely perfect exchange. So, okay, the oxygen has been picked up by the blood, it's on its way. But now what? What is the whole point of all this? Where's it going? This is the payoff. That oxygen gets delivered to every single one of the trillions of cells in your body. And inside these tiny power factories called mitochondria, that oxygen is used to burn glucose, sugar from your food. This whole process is called aerobic respiration. Aerobic just means with oxygen. And this is what releases the energy that lets you do everything, from running a marathon to thinking to just living. It really all boils down to this one simple but totally profound equation. You take in fuel, which is glucose, and you add oxygen. What do you get? You get energy, with a little carbon dioxide and water as waste. That simple little reaction is the engine of your life, and it is happening billions of times a second in your body, right now.
So, we've seen the journey, and we know its purpose. But how does the body actually pull the air in and push it out? What's the physical engine driving this whole machine?
It's a really elegant little pump. To breathe in, this big muscle under your lungs called the diaphragm tightens up and flattens out. At the same time, your rib muscles pull your whole rib cage up and out. This makes your chest bigger, the pressure inside drops, and boom, air from the outside just rushes in to fill the space. And breathing out, that's usually just all those muscles relaxing. Simple as that.
And when you understand that mechanism, it really helps you understand conditions like asthma. During an asthma attack, the tiny little muscles around those bronchioles, those smallest branches we talked about, they squeeze and tighten up. This makes the pathway super narrow, and it becomes incredibly hard for air to get down to the alveoli for that all-important gas exchange. It just shows how critical it is for that entire pathway to stay wide open. So, think about it. From the air conditioner in your nose, to the self-cleaning highways of your airways, to a tennis court of surface area packed inside your lungs, this unbelievable journey happens, on its own, thousands of times a day. It's a perfect automatic system just humming along in the background of your life. So the next time you decide to take a deep, conscious breath, what are you going to do with all that power?